Oh, hey. Story of Big Red. So, I think this is back in the 60s. A guy named Randy Graves was born. His nickname was because his brother couldn't say Randy, called him Red, so he's Red. And when he turned 6 feet tall by the age of 8, he took the name Big Red. Big Red lived with his family about 30 minutes outside Boston, and they did spend a lot of time in the Northeast, New England, went to Maine quite a bit as well. So the story really spans across that area. Anyways, Big Red didn't have much going for him. When he got a little bit older, clearly school, even high school, not in the question. And what he and his friends would do, particularly one friend, Dave, is they would all go basically with funeral homes, go hide in caskets, and then someone would come and dig them out after they've been buried in the ground. They literally hide with the dead bodies. And what Big Red never would actually do it, though. Big Red was usually the guy who would go, dig them out, and then as they got more into it, they got Big Red to do it as well. And the whole idea was, hey, you bet with your friends how long you could do it for. Maybe you say, give me, 3 hours, he'd come dig you up. And it was a game they played, totally morbid and terrible. It was something they did. So one day it was agreed that Big Red was going to go into a casket and Dave would come get him out. And the whole plan was, hey, we'll choose next Saturday. Whatever casket you find, the one that funeral home does that day, we'll come dig you out. So Big Red goes, gets in the casket, and they have the service. He can't really hear much or see much. They place the body in, and he's kind of hidden in there. They took the casket, buried it. Everyone goes away, and Big Red knows it's now his time to wait until Dave comes and digs him out. Now, Big Red's down there. Seems like a lot of time's going by. It's tough for him to really know how much time, but the air is getting thin, and he's getting a little nervous. And at a certain point, he knows many hours have gone by, and he's running out of air. And he has no idea why Dave hasn't come to dig him up. And then he lifts up the sheet, and realizes Dave is actually the body in the casket. No one's coming to dig up Big Red. So Big Red is flipping out. He is screaming. He's hitting the top of the casket, scratching at it, clawing, and digging so hard that his skin and his nails all ripped away, and it was down to his bones, literally using his bones to scrape at the casket. A day goes by. 2 days go by. There's no air. Big Red's basically on the verge of death. His mind totally gone from having just screamed and scratched and clawed and having no air. And then he's actually dug out. It turns out another friend realized exactly what was happening, that Dave was dead and Big Red was probably in there. So this friend digs, lets him out. Big Red immediately kills the guy. Big Red has completely lost his mind. Goes on a huge killing spree in the Boston area, including up to Maine, down to Connecticut as well, even to kind of the Westchester, New York area. It's big, wide encompassing. Killed a guy in DC too, but that was he was dating a guy. Big Red, for this long period of time, killed a bunch of people. They eventually caught him, and he was, declared to be mentally incompetent because of the air that he ran out. So he was put in a prison, but it was a hospital-type prison. And I guess I just heard that as of last week, because of coronavirus, they did let him out in the care of his family. So, everything's totally fine. But just be careful. It's good. I'm glad we could tell this story actually on the day of Andrew's rehearsal there, because this was going to be my toast, which is telling that full story. All right. Cheers.